Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I've been talking for like 5 minutes and just realized I didn't hit the record button. So I'm coming at you live this morning because I want to talk to you a little bit about autoimmune diseases and the common cold, we'll say. I sound like I swallowed a frog because I'm sick. And I'm sick because of the pollen-mageddon, or whatever they're calling it, that's hit the country right now. Or whatever country. Because of spring, because everything's blooming. And as one of my favorite customers eloquently put it, the trees are literally having sex. So they're shaking all the pollen everywhere. Anyway, so I'm coming in to tell you guys about autoimmune diseases and we'll say the common cold. Well, what I have right now I've not been diagnosed, okay? So I've not been to the doctor yet. I am going today. I didn't go to the doctor because I get sick with allergies twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall, and I usually get it pretty bad. On Thursday, and I'm having a strain to talk, so I'm kind of out of breath because it's taking a lot out of me, but on Thursday, after I got off work, I started feeling like I was getting a sore throat on one side. I instantly knew that was my allergies and that it was coming for me because my son's been sick for a couple of weeks with his allergies. So, I instantly start, taking precautions. I go ahead and start taking my antihistamines, and I start taking, which I take a daily allergy medicine anyway, but I start taking antihistamines, and I start taking, the word just went out of my head, but I started taking precautions and started treating the allergies because I know it's going to get bad. This was on Thursday evening. Friday, I was pretty rough, but I was okay because it was, still in the beginning stages. And it rained all day Friday, and it rained all day Saturday. Saturday I was supposed to be off, so I would have rested, which would have been good for my body. But I went into work for what I thought was going to be 3 hours to help a friend of mine who needed to do some things, and she had 2 big things to do, and they were actually scheduled at the same time. So I went to help her, and I ended up working a full day. I worked from 9 to 5 o'clock, and so I didn't really get to rest. And I was scheduled to work yesterday, but I had somebody cover my shift because I knew that I needed to rest. So what happens is when you have an autoimmune disease, your body's immune system is already working overtime to keep yourself as in much check as it can. My body is in a constant fight to fight off the effects from IMS, the symptoms, the relapses, the flare-ups. It's constantly fighting for me not to get another lesion on my brain or on my spine. So, and the medicines that we take don't really help our immune system. I've actually researched this, and so the medicines we take to keep ourselves from having these extra issues don't always work well with our immune system. Sometimes it works against our immune system. So in saying that, what happens is what started out as an allergy attack for me has turned into more. Like, it's moved from my head, which it's still there, but it's slowly creeping, and now it's in my chest, which means I probably have bronchitis. What normally happens with me is I don't get just a cold. Excuse me. Sorry. So what happens with me is I normally don't just have a cold. What starts out as a cold ends up being sinusitis, cold, sinusitis, an upper respiratory infection, a sinus infection. Well, that's sinusitis, duh. But I end up getting bronchitis. I usually end up with 5 things. It's usually 5 things I'll walk out of the doctor's office with a diagnosis. So I've not been diagnosed yet, but I know it's coming. Because I'm going today. Because unfortunately, I'm going to have to probably go get on antibiotics. I don't necessarily want to be on antibiotics, because antibiotics wreak havoc on my body. But I know that I'm a single mother, and I'm the breadwinner of the family, so I've got to make sure that I can go to work. And it's only April, so I don't want to be using all my vacation time in April. I mean, I don't want to do that because I need to save it. And honestly, my vacation time as somebody with an autoimmune disease is basically used on sick days. I've been working at my company for collectively 24 years, and I get around 5 weeks vacation. I've earned that vacation, but the thing is, I spend almost every one of those vacation days for sick days. It's sad, but it's true. So in autoimmune diseases, and I've told this in other videos, it's not just MS. It's MS, it's arthritis, it's rheumatoid arthritis, it's Parkinson's disease. It's all the big diseases. Most of those are autoimmune diseases. So, our bodies have to fight things off. So a mere cold, which is something that people get that's aggravating, but can be fought off rather quickly to a normal, regular person, is a lot of work for people with autoimmune diseases. It takes a lot out of our bodies. I've actually been sleeping pretty good up until last night, and I only slept about 2 hours last night, and I'm on my way to work because there's nobody to take my shift. And because, well, like I said, I've already taken a day. I took yesterday, so I'm going to have to take that as a vacation day. But I need to work today. Luckily, I don't work very late today. I'm going to call the doctor as soon as they open. And I'm going to get an appointment, hopefully for today. And then see about getting some treatment. But anyway, I kind of digress. I'm moving on to the next thing. So, I'm just letting you know, even though this is gross, and I'm sick and I sound horrible, and I look horrible, I'm going to work. I'm going to stay away from people as much as I can. Hand sanitizer is my best friend, and I use it quite often. But I do. I keep my hand sanitizer with me, and I make sure that I'm not in people's faces. I definitely do not cough into my hand. I usually cough into my shoulder. But I just kind of want to let you guys know that it's hard. Life's hard. And sometimes we got to pull up our big girl panties and go to work. So that's what I'm doing today. Even though I really wish that I was at home and in the bed. But also, while I'm saying that, and as I'm talking about how our bodies have to fight off dude, you're kind of a jerk. I woke up this morning to another fun thing. And this is another fun thing when it comes to autoimmune diseases. I woke up this morning and realized I have there are three. And they're not boils, because I hate the word boil, it's so disgusting. But I've got a breakout on my back, and they're really big sore bumps. They're kind of on my side. But that's what I'm trying to tell you guys about how our bodies are already fighting so much that when small things come about that it would normally fight off, they just can't, because there's so much going on in our bodies, and it can only do so much. Our bodies and our biology is amazing. The fact that our bodies fight off infections, and the fact that our white blood cells go to the rescue anytime something's going wrong or going amiss, I'm just amazed by it. But I'm also amazed by how we have to fight so hard to just get rid of a common cold. So I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I feel like poop. My son and I, since he was little, our saying is, I feel like poop on a stick. I don't know where that came from. It's just something that we've always said. And so that's kind of how I feel today, guys. I feel like poop on a stick. But anyway, I'm heading into work. I'm hoping I don't have to stay there too awful long. But I am going to call the doctor and try to get an appointment today so that I can get started on antibiotics. I know there's probably some natural homeopathic things that I can do. I don't know what they are. I've not researched it enough to know. Unfortunately, in my years since being diagnosed, the only thing I know the best to do is go to the doctor. And as much as I hate going to antibiotics and how much antibiotics really screw my system up even further, it'll at least help this part so it doesn't become pneumonia and it doesn't become the flu. Pneumonia is my biggest worry. I've never had pneumonia, but when things move into my chest, that's the first thing I try to think of, and the first thing I have to combat. So I'm going to work on that, and we're going to hope that that is going to help us out. Anyhow, it's Monday. The sun is shining. It's been raining for the past 3 days. We had a lot of tornado warnings last night. I hope that everybody across the U.S. that was in that storm path or in that my words this morning are not coming to me. That were in that front that was coming through. I hope everybody's okay. And just know that, I'm still here. I'm still kicking. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Please click that like button, subscribe, so you can hang out with me some more. We can learn some things together. And I'll let you know, hopefully tomorrow, what the doctor says. Until then, guys, I'll see you later. And again, I hope you have a great day.